Hi, Michelle here. In today's video, I'm going to go ahead and take a look at this really sad Veitchii. And what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to show you how I disassemble, I guess would be a good word, a plant to save it. This Veitchii I have right here, I went ahead and I transferred it from pon to a organic mixture, and the plant did really poorly. I need to take this out and to go ahead and save as much as I can. What I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to take cuttings of as much of it as I can, leave what seems to be good. I'm going to unpot it, go ahead and check the roots, take off what's bad, repot it, and then show you what's left. I've done this many a times from a plant that when I have done something to try and make the plant better, it's actually ended up making it worse. Sometimes you have to kind of do the nuclear option and you have to kind of cut the plant up to go ahead and make it better. It's not the end of the world when this happens too. Although I will tell you that when you see some of these leaves, how dehydrated and god awful they look, you may say it looks like the end of the world, but I promise it's not. I will hopefully have uh, some footage at the end from a few days later after this, hopefully rehydrated. So let's go ahead and start from here. The first thing I want to say is if you like today's video, please consider giving it a thumbs up. That lets me know if you like the content that I am showing for you today. If you'd like to see other plant-related content like this from me, please consider subscribing to my channel. I did have to start my channel over. It was the Heron Fam channel. Now it is at Heron Fam 1. I had to change it. There were some issues going on with Google and YouTube, thinking there were some shenanigans going on my account that weren't. So I had to go ahead and restart my account. So if you do subscribe to my channel and like today's video, that kind of gets the word out to some of the people that don't know that I had to start things over, and that would really help me out. And if you have anything you'd like to add, please put a comment down in the comment section below. I do read all your comments and I do reply to them all, so I will get back to you. And now let's go ahead and set up for today's video. And the first thing I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to untrellis this Hoya. And what I'm going to do is, as I am untrellising it, I'm going to be taking cuttings and putting them in this water. So this is probably the saddest looking Hoya I've had in quite a while. These leaves are really thin. This plant got to be this state when I was out of commission, and then I had knee surgery, and it had to get put to the side to wait till I could get to it. Now is that time. Hopefully it is. It will be say we will have enough time to save this plant. I think we will, but I do think we will lose quite a few leaves just because of how dehydrated this plant is. Now, if you do have dehydrated leaves, it's not the end of the world. They do rehydrate, and if they do not look like they're going to rehydrate, you can always put them, soak them in a shallow pan of water, that can also help hydrate them. That might be where these go for a couple of hours because these are really dehydrated. Let me go get that shallow pan.
A few moments later.
Okay, I got a little container and I also got some Super Thrive. I'm going to add a little bit of Super Thrive to it. This is pretty. That's just some little vitamins that can help the plant. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is see if this is right at the very base of the plant. I'm going to see if there's any leaves that I think will make it, and I don't think so. So I'm going to go ahead and, oh yeah, these just, yeah, these died. Oh yeah. So what I'm going to do is, this is one part. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this into manageable pieces and then put this in the water to rehydrate. See, that's really dehydrated. That may not make it. And this is what needs to be done for the Hoya. This can happen frequently. Sometimes what happened with this plant was it was in pon and doing pretty good, but then I decided to cut it up and put it in soil, an organic mixture, and that did not go so well. So what I will do is I will reroot this, and then after it's rerooted, it will be able to go into soil because it will not have developed pon roots beforehand. So that is why this plant failed so spectacularly. It grew all of this growth in pon. So the transition from pon to soil is rough, to say the least. And I was not gracious to my Hoyas when I did this. So unfortunately, I really gave them a tough time. So we will do this and we will let it soak for a little bit. Cut off all this extra so we have nothing but leaves. Get rid of the get rid of the stems that don't have nodes or anything on them. And this actually looks, whoop, there goes a peduncle. There goes a leaf. All right, let's see. And so have you ever tried to swap over a plant from pond to soil or anything like that and had something like this happen? Or have you taken precautions to avoid this happening? What are your experiences? Because I clearly failed spectacularly for this poor plant. I had not had this result. I guess I tricked myself into thinking that I was never going to have a problem because I had never had a problem before. So I guess I thought that I would never have a problem with transferring my plants, my Hoyas from Pon to Leca. But boy, did I ever with this plant. But we shall recover. That's the nice thing about Hoyas is even if you start with the smallest little cutting, and this Hoya, let's see if I can put a clip up or a photo up of what this looked like when I got it. But this Hoya started off very small. So even if I am left with hardly any of it, I will still be ahead of where I started. So that's always a good thing. And I don't think these are going to make it. But I would love to hear your stories on your Hoya fails. Because this, for me, was a huge Hoya fail. That one actually isn't too bad. That last cutting I took. But we shall get this all better. I don't know, this will probably take 6 months to recover. And I know that probably sounds like a long time, but I've had this Hoya for about 2 or 3 years now. So 6 months in the terms of that is not too bad. This doesn't look like it's gonna survive either. But we will, yeah, this one doesn't look like it's gonna survive either. That leaf is really curled up. But the plant is not as bad as I thought it was going to be. So that's good. That's very good. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's not good. But the fact that it's not as bad off as I was thinking it was going to be is a win for this plant. And we're almost down to the end. These look pretty good. All these look good. Up to right there. Okay. All right, so we are left with some clips, just a little bit of scraggly stem, and so I'm gonna put this down in here. I have some extra water I can put in here. So I'm going to leave that in there for about an hour and let those stems kind of rehydrate that and clean this up. Clean up this, clean this mixture up, because it has, you know, old rotten roots in it and everything. So I'm going to do that, and then I will come back to you when it's time to go ahead and put these cuttings in the water and to go ahead and finish up on that, and then I'll be right back with you.
1 hour later.
It's been about an hour, so I'm going to go ahead and take these out of the soaking water and go ahead and put them in Now, I know it doesn't look like that much has really changed, but they are rehydrated. The leaves don't feel so limp anymore. So I'm literally just going to go ahead and put them all together now and put them in this vessel, and we'll let them grow roots and see how they do from here on out. I will go ahead and keep an eye on them for you when they are ready to go ahead and be potted up. I will come back on and show you what they look like, because you will probably be very surprised to see how well they recover. It will probably, like I said, take about a month, but they should do very well. That one's a little... What I really need is I need a vessel with a smaller opening, so I can keep all of these tight, because see, they're just falling out. That's always the hardest part, is putting these back up when they all flop around everywhere. But where there's a will, there's a way. I just decided to hold them with one hand And this one looks like it came out very nice. There we go. Those are finally pretty much held in place now. All right. And one last one. Okay, so now we went ahead and got that all done. So now all of those cuttings are now in this vessel, and we will just go ahead and wait for it to go ahead and grow roots. It will probably take about a month, maybe 6 weeks or so. And then once we do that, we will be able to go ahead and repot that up again. This time we will be able to go ahead and use an organic mix because this will not have developed pond roots. So that's where I stand today on this Hoya. So that's where I'll close for today. So thank you so much for joining me on today's video. I hope that you were able to see that even when a Hoya looks pretty bad and you think that it's going to be on the edge of disaster, it's not. You can always cut it, you can rehydrate it. The plant is not, until the leaves physically come off the stem, you still have a chance to regrow it. So until next time, I'll see you then. Thanks so much for joining me today. Have a wonderful day. Bye.